again, my mate Vince here, and another Trying to Fix video. And in this video we have something from a long time ago. A Tom and Jerry Jack-in-the-Box type thing. It says music box here. Bought it from eBay as faulty, not working. I haven't tried it yet, so this is the first time I'm trying it now. Had a quick look on eBay now, and there's a couple for sale for £80, but I presume they're in good condition. There's also one for sale for £30. I bought this for £6 plus a bit of postage. I'll flash up on the screen what I paid for it. So as a kid, I always wanted Tom to win. I hated Jerry, and obviously Jerry would always win, wouldn't he? But yeah, there was something so annoying about Jerry. But how good's Tom? Right, okay, so what it's supposed to do, I presume, is you wind it up and... Right, there's nothing happening there. Tom, I think, is supposed to come flying out. Oh, I can hear something. Oh, dearie me. Right, okay. Look at that. Okay, well, it really comes out with some force, but it's not winding up. So this is Burbank Toys. You might recognise that name from the Womble that I did ages ago. I think Rupert was included in that. Andy Pandy, I think, as well. And it says here 19... Let's zoom in. I can't quite read it, but I know it's old. 1965. There you go. Canada. 1966. Made and printed in England. Music arranged by Ted Duncan. Right, okay, oh, 51 and 53. Right, so yeah, you can see that it's got a good bit of age to it. Let's see how we're going to take this thing apart. So my guess before looking at it is that the spring has snapped. Weirdly, it's worn here. Is that from, do you know what, that must be from... Why would it be worn here? Would it be from fingernails holding it? The thumb, maybe? Yeah, I bet that's the thumb. I'm thinking now that, annoyingly, this is riveted. How am I going to take this apart? Well, that's the voice. This is the wind-up mechanism going to be riveted on here. How do I actually get into this thing? I was expecting to have kind of like metal tabs that you could open up. Right, so there's a join here. This is going to be very destructive. Right, okay, so obviously it's not supposed to really be repaired, is it? Because there's no screws or anything holding anything in. There's nothing obvious, so I'm going to have to get some pry tools and stuff and start to try to pry this apart. Right, so I've got a plastic pry tool and a metal pry tool. I can see that there's a massive spring inside Tom's ripped belly here. I think it's the hands that I like. Yay! So the problem we got is that we're going to break it in trying to fix it. So obviously I'm completely devaluing it because right now it's still a toy, although it doesn't work. But this is a video. I want it to work. I want to see the inside of it. I want to see why it's failed. So in doing this, it will probably help somebody else try to fix theirs. But I don't know how to get into this. So there's two things. I could try to pry this open here. I think what it is I think the top and bottom lid has been put on and then crimped round. That's what I think. It's just, it all feels so incredibly solid. So I don't know whether to try to open it from here and then I might be able to peel it out, or whether I should try to pull it down from here. See, I wonder, is this bent round on itself? You know, I wonder, does this come round and then have a lip here, and then this comes round, like grips in like that. So the biggest challenge is going to be getting in it, but then I don't even know what the fault is going to be. Actually, thinking about it, it is, hold on now, I need a top off, don't I? So then I can pull the whole mechanism out. Otherwise, by taking off the bottom, I'm going to be trying to work in the box, which is going to be impossible. So really I need to take the top off. Let me just have a little feel in here. Ah, we got cardboard. Ah, okay. Maybe I don't have to worry about that at all. Is there a way I can get this down? I wonder how this is attached in here. Is it glued? This feels like cardboard on the inside, you see. Just forcing it up here because I can whack this bit down afterwards. Just want to see how they've done it. Oh, do you know what? Maybe I can push it all down and then might be able to pry it down, you know? Because if it's just on cardboard, oh wow, I can see those teeth, you know, the comb things, just in here. Can you see down there? For the sound. Oh, this is going to be nice on the inside. Trying to kind of push it down and bend it in. There we go. Right, now, is he going to pop out? Or not? Come on, Tom. Right, so that's sellotape, isn't it? That's sellotape. So let's undo the sellotape. Amazing, it's still a bit tacky. Okay, right, springs out. I think that was sellotape down the bottom onto that X there. Just have to take this out. So we've got some staples in it here, so should I just undo the staples? I think it would probably be best. Then I can fold the cardboard in on itself. I might even be able to reuse these. There we go. Right, I couldn't get that last staple out, but I managed to just fold it in on itself. So there you go, it's just like a cardboard core that Tom sits into, and the reason he can't fly out is because he is glued to the top bit here. Not glued, sellotaped. And then this goes underneath the lip here. So, that looks just like normal, I was going to say masking tape, but maybe it's more like cloth tape, I'm not sure. Right, where's that other staple? Down in here. There we go. Right now, so, oh my god. Wow. This now is why it's so fun to take apart things. I would have never dreamt that this was on the inside. Never dreamt. If I said to you, a belt, you'd be thinking, what? But look at this, it's a belt with knobbly bits on to play the tune against the combs. Now check that out, I bet nobody was expecting that. Unless of course you've taken one apart yourself. So now, look at that. So why? Oh, and look, it's slipping. Is it slipping? Hold on. Yeah, slipping there, look. Can you see? So it works some of the time, but now look, when there's more, look at that. It's fine if there's just one trying to get through, but when there's like 2 or 3 trying to get through, it struggles. There, it's just spinning. Look. Wow, okay, belt. So it's just the rubber's stretched over time. Well, not stretched, it's gone hard. It's lost this elasticity, and now it's not gripping onto this well enough. How on earth am I going to fix that? Right, well the good news is the comb itself is not broken. And depending on the toy they did, all they'd have to do is swap the belt over for a different one, and then it would have a different set of knobbly bits sticking out, which would hit the comb. So the comb's going to probably be the same on every single toy, I think. So for example, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whatever, however it is. And yeah, this is the thing that changes the notes. Well, the order that they played. Right, how am I going to do this? So I need to take the belt out to boil it, to try to get it working again. What I don't understand though is, what on earth winds him... Oh, hold on a minute. So I've probably missed the main purpose of the toy here. It's this thing here has to go in. When does... Ah! There's going to be a knobbly bit at the end of the belt that then pushes this out at the end of the song. So when you're winding it, can you see down this side here? All the way down this side is smooth. But there must be a knobbly bit. Let's have a look. Here we go. Here comes the knobbly bit. And that knobbly bit should then throw this catch. Is it going to throw it? No, look, it's just stuck there. Yeah, it did it a tiny bit. Yeah, that's where it's getting stuck. Look, it's getting stuck there. Hasn't got the strength to push the catch. Yeah, so look, can you see it here? So if we wind that down and push that up there, that will that mechanism is actually still working, and then that will push this catch, which will then make Tom fly out because it releases the lid. So you have to load Tom up. There's no winding up done. You load Tom up by pushing him down in here, and then when you wind it, it does that. Right, fully understand it now. What's this bit here for? Oh, that's to give it spring at the very end, to make it spring. So can you see it does nothing from here to here, but then the last little bit springs. Yeah. Right, fully understand it now, that's good. Okay, glad I didn't take it all apart. So how am I going to do this now? Do I have to drill out the rivets? Or, because my rivet gun that I bought for the car is around my dad's place, is there a way I can take this out without undoing it? Yeah, I reckon down the bottom, if I push each of those bits to the side, then I'll be able to take out the bottom bit. Let me just zoom in. A lot more interesting than I thought it would be. Right, can you see here? I think if I was to knock out that bit there, that bit down flat, and do the same over this side, that bottom axle will come out. Now, the top one's slightly bent there, but again, look, there's a thing here, isn't there? There, if I knock that bit flat there, this bit, then I think I can probably knock that out. Maybe I can put it through a bit. Not too sure. Why can't I put it through? Oh, I can't put it through because it's bent here. I wonder if I can pull that through. Yeah, look, okay. I think I can. Yes, here we go. Oops, there we go, we're out. So that's the belt there. Now, let me, apologies, you can't see what's going on, I've just taken it out there, that's the belt. So I have to make sure it's on the right way round. So, let me, how am I going to know if it's on the right way round? Well, there's only going to be one big knobbly bit here, you can see the size of it. That bit there is much bigger on the side here than any of the others, this bit. Yeah? So it has to go on that way, it can't go on any other way, can it? So now what I have to do is try to knock out these this bottom one here. Oh, actually it's out. It's out already. I wonder whether it was just... hold on a minute, rather than trying to stretch the belt, have these become loose? How about the bottom one? No, but what I could do is I could bend those bits down a bit. So the axle's pulled further down. You see these bits? I wonder whether I'd be able to bend them down ever so slightly. And that might push the axle down a little bit. What else could I do? So that's the axle there. Doesn't seem to be a huge amount of wear on that. There is a bit though. You can see a little bit of wear in the edges. Also, do you know what? There's quite a bit of wear here which is going to cause it to not be as tight. Can you see these holes where the axle went through? Look how much wear. You can see it's very shiny here. And it's the same on that side there. I'm going to zoom in to show you that. There, can you see how much wear? So that hole has gotten bigger. And again, that extra millimetre is probably enough to make it slack. So I don't really know what I'm going to do here. Let's clean the belt to begin with and boil it. Hopefully it won't disintegrate. Hopefully it may shrink possibly or make it a little bit more rubbery. While we're wet wiping this, let's give a shout out to the My Mate Vince Massive, and the members are kitdigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Having Fun Repairs, Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service, Will Michaelis, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeeves.com, King Kerr from Lowbook Auto Sales, DJVG, Ellis Garbett, Pixie, Kenneth Blenstrop Sorensen, Simba Tinabu, Gabe McCandless, Extreme 401, Robert from Timsey's Auto Air, and Daniel Watson. Now, I think we've scrubbed this enough, so let's put it in a pan of boiling water to see if we can shrink it up just a tiny bit. So I've got a kettle full of boiling water. I want enough in there to actually cover up the belt. And let's drop that in. I hope it doesn't disintegrate. Right, okay, that's just covered. Let's turn this on. And I'm going to let it boil away for, let's put it up a little bit. I'm going to let it boil away for a good, I reckon about 10 minutes. I might even go to 15 minutes. But I've had a bit of an idea, so I definitely don't want to melt this because I've got an idea where essentially we can stretch it without actually moving any of the pivots and stuff. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. I'm just going to set a timer for 15 minutes on this. Right, okay, this is my big brain moment. Now that I've said that, it's going to end in failure. But we want to decrease the size between these two. Right, apologies, got myself a bit confused in this bit, but the idea still works behind it. I say decrease, we actually want to increase the size between these 2 points here. What's happened is, because of the wear in the holes and the actual axles, the size between them have decreased. So I got myself a little bit confused, but bear with me, you'll understand what I'm talking about anyway. Right, back to the video. But we want to decrease the size between these two because this axle here has a tiny bit of wear, just a fraction of a millimetre on each side, but that will make a little bit of difference. The belt probably has stretched a tiny little bit and wouldn't be as rubbery as it was originally. And also this here isn't worn here, but yet, well, it's probably worn a tiny bit, just here I can see it, but the holes that it goes through is worn. So what's happened is it's actually increased the size ever so slightly. We're only talking a tiny bit, but it's probably enough to make it not work. So I want to decrease the size, hence the reason I'm boiling the belt in the hope that it might shrink it a bit. But why don't I, the belt runs around here and here, so why don't I, if this allows, which it is going to, why don't I try to make this bigger and this bigger, or even maybe just this bigger than the bottom. So I'm thinking I might just get some small heat shrinks, put it on there, and then get the next size, put it, well, you know, small one, small one, small one, and then maybe medium size one, to try to build this up a couple of millimeters. And if I do it in between where it's attached, Will it? Oh, I can't, can I? Because it's attached. It goes, no, I can, because on the bottom one it doesn't go through any holes. So on the top one it actually physically goes through holes, but on the bottom connection it doesn't. It just basically pulls up into place. So that might be enough to shrink this gap here and might make it work again. Obviously, if I could put a metal axle on this, it would be better. But I'm thinking the heat shrink will work, and it'd be an easy thing to do. Let's take that out. Has it made any difference? Well, it might be slightly more round. Do you know what probably happened here? Maybe the toy wasn't used in a long time and this has kind of just gone into, no, it hasn't. You can see there it's gone into that shape again, so it hasn't really made any difference, that boiling. But I'm reluctant to boil it anymore because I don't want to damage it, because I think the other thing that I'm going to do is going to work. So yeah, I think the toy hasn't been played with in years and the belt's just taken that shape. So it's kind of gone rigid in that shape. Okay, well, it's cleaner. Whether it's more elastic, I don't know. So now, let's, what do I need to do now? I need to get some heat shrinks for them. Let's see what's going on about Tom here, because he looks a bit sorry for himself. So I'm going to have to add a little bit of stitch into there. It's absolutely filthy. I really could do with giving them a bit of a wash. Let's take this off, because that's going to come off in the water anyway. There we go. Excellent, so I just unscrewed it. Right, so now that spring is... Did I do that there, or was it already like that? There we go. Right, a massive spring, isn't it? Well, do you know what? I think I'm going to give him a bit of a wash anyway, because this is sealed here, so I don't think water is going to get inside his head. I'm going to pop him in a sink of hot water just to see if any of this grime can come off. Okay, hot water. I'll just put a bit of washing up liquid in there. So Tom's going to have his first bath ever. Now, looking at these here, they look like rust, don't they? The same as down here. So I don't think that this is actually going to make any difference. But it will give me an opportunity to clean up his mouth and face and stuff like that. You never know, it might come out a little bit better, but I doubt it. Right, so I'm just going to scrub him for a few minutes, and then when he dries we'll see if he's any cleaner. Okay, so I've scrubbed it for a good while, but poor Tom doesn't look any better than he did before. Maybe when it dries it might look a bit whiter, hopefully. So Tom's just chilling out here in the peak sun, loving it. I think it is going to look whiter than it did before. It'll be dry in no time in this weather. Okay, Tom's now sufficiently dry, so I'm just stitching him up. This bit here is going to be easy because it's just ripped. It's not actually worn from being threadbare. But this one here is not going to look good because it's completely worn through. So I'm having to kind of double it over and then stitch it up. So it's going to look a little bit, I think, puckered down the bottom. I don't think it will make a difference when it's sellotaped on. I think it will look okay. It's definitely come out cleaner. It's not clean, but it's definitely whiter than it was before. I think now, because that's come out quite nice, I think I'm going to... I don't obviously want to repaint it because it's original, but I think I am just going to put a little bit of black paint just on the eyebrows here. And also I'm just going to touch up the white around this bit here. Keep the yellow, keep the eyes, keep the ears, and obviously the head is blue plastic anyway. And I think that will look, I think it will look nice like that without being overly restored. Well, I've got some acrylic paint here. I hope this will do the job. Okay, so there he is. I think he looks better than before, but close up I can see a lot of brush marks on there. From a distance it definitely looks better, but originally this would have been sprayed. So from there it looks nice, but not when you look close up, because you can see all of the lines on the nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for it to fully dry, and I'm going to try to flatten it off just with a rough finger and see if that sort of smooths it off a little bit. That might be all it needs. Then it might look okay. Again, acrylic paint, I don't know how long that's going to, I presume it's just going to scratch off really easy. But we'll see. The eyebrows look good. It does look better, because before it looked, you know, it was all scraped. Right, okay, what I need to do now is get some heat shrinks and start to try to build up this, and then see if that's going to actually make it work or not. So really, I suppose it needs to be the width of this. So that looks about right, doesn't it? So I'm just using my heat gun just to melt it down. Right, now I can put on another layer, and I'll just keep building it up like that. Well, that was easier said than done, but I did manage to get one more layer off the same size heat shrink on by cutting it in half and putting one on from one end and one on from the other end with the aid of some water. And then I used the next size up, the black one, to put over both of them, and then I just heated them all up together. The axle in the middle actually spins independently off the heat shrinks, but that's not a problem, because in a way it's acting as a bit of a bearing rather than having metal on metal. If these slip a little bit, it shouldn't matter, because it's the top crank which is like doing the actual driving. The bottom one's just freewheeling round anyway. Well, I must have added a millimetre to that. So maybe that's all I need. Maybe it will work now. So let's roughly put it back together. Right, now with this, I wonder if I was to swap it round, because do I really need all the pressure is going to be on top here, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to swap it round. Just going to pop the staples back in. And I'm going to use this tape here, it's nice and strong. Well, I suppose I don't want to do it too tight on the cardboard, because you kind of want him to flop around the place. So I'm going to go with that. Thing is, I'm doing this all now, but it's going to, when I put it in, the cardboard is going to bend and break again everywhere. So I can't see another way of doing it. Right, okay, so I think that's going to work. Yeah, right now, this part here, has this made any difference, I wonder? Just going to give it a bit of a clean because it's a bit dusty in here. The box has kind of gone rusty, but it's not really, I don't know, it's just discoloured. I suppose maybe it's got pinholes, bits of rust like it has at the bottom, and it's just reacted with the paint. Okay, you can't see what's going on here because my hand's taken up all the space, but basically I've got my torch, flashlight, shining into the hole, and I've got it so I can see what's going on. What you have to do is get the rubber little sound belt in there first, and then you have to put through the little handle crank thing. So then that goes through the rubber belt. It all looks a little bit chewed up when you do it to begin with, and then at the ends you need to get the axle that we put the heat shrink on, and you need to put it through the rubber belt and try to kind of hook it on the bottom, because remember it's not fixed on the bottom, it kind of hooks through, and that's what keeps it in place. So that's what I'm doing in this bit here. Yes, excellent. Actually, that wasn't too bad. So what I had to do was make sure there was a bit of metal sticking out on each side on that bottom axle, and then it clips into place. Let's just have a quick look now, see if it is turning. Oh, shit, it just went. Hold on. You can't go the wrong way. It sort of gets chewed up, so you have to go that way round. But watch this catch up here when this big knobbly bit comes round again. Oh, pop goes the weasel. There you go. Did you see it went there? Hold on. Right, watch this catch now. There. See it move back? There. Okay. So now when we load it up, didn't work. Yeah, it clicks. It's when it goes pop goes the weasel it's supposed to come up. Let me put a little bit less pressure on it maybe. Hold on. Yeah, it tries to move but it can't. But you know what? Have a look here, there's a big crease. Can you see that crease there? So this lid is under more strain than it should be. In fact, it's very bent up here. So I suppose all it needs to do is release it and let the spring do its work. Right now, this is flicking right back. That's completely bent along here, and that's why it's not releasing, I think. Right, let's see if that's going to be more like it. There you go. Did you see it there? There, it's moving. Pop. There. Yeah, that's going to work. Right, and the scrape's really obvious now. It's when this thing pushes in, it actually scrapes against it. So it kind of pulls out to here and pushes in. Perfect. I think that's going to work when Tom is in there with all the pressure going up. Right, so now I've got the horrible job of trying to get this back in here and then trying to get this under this lip here. So first of all, let's just try to cardboard in. Now I'm kind of thinking, why doesn't it sound nice? And it's because it's rubber against those prongs. If you remember that little box I did before, the musical box, that sounded lovely because the barrel itself was metal and the comb was metal. So basically it was a metal barrel with pins, metal pins sticking out, so it gave a nice kind of a nice vibration sound. While with this is rubber, so it's going to dampen the sound, isn't it? But I've got to make sure that I put Tom in with his belly the right way around, so he needs to basically go in here like that. Okay, now how am I actually going to do this? Oh, do you know what? If I push the cardboard out, there we go. If I push the cardboard out from the middle, you know, that then goes in. There we go. Oh, wow, I thought that was going to be a complete and utter nightmare. I don't think it's, oh no, the back's not in. Is it going to go? It's awkward. I want it to fully push home all the way. So basically, we've got the lip, haven't we? And then we've got Tom with the cardboard here. I want the lip to go from here, under and up this way. Right, now, is he in? Chucky. I'm trying to get his head straight. Right, I think, is that it? I think we're in. Now, fold him down. And he goes. Is it going to work? Whoa! Right, okay, certainly comes up with a lot of force. I think it's, why is it gone off? Why is it off over that way though? Why is it not coming up nice and straight? Oh, hold on now. Ah, he's there, but now look. Why is he not? Ah, wait a minute. I think it might be random. Ah, his ear's caught there, you see. Right, so you have to put him in. But that's just like a, you know, that would have happened from new as well, his ear getting caught that side. Or no, it wouldn't, would it? Because the cardboard wouldn't allow it to happen, because the cardboard would have been right the way over. Do you know what I mean? Let's feel now, is the cardboard sorted all the way around? Fantastic. So here we have it cleaned up the best that I can do. I think, considering its age, it looks okay. It's still nice and colourful. It still looks like a nice little thing. So we're talking about something which is 55-ish years old. So there you go. You've got Tom and Jerry there, music box. You have Jerry being irritating, blowing the trumpet right the way through Tom's head. Obviously no brain in the way there. It says here, Rosebud Matte Toy Makers. So I didn't notice that before. And here you have him, Tom being nice, sniffing a flower, while Jerry's putting a TNT behind him, throwing tacks on the floor, and Jerry looking very happy with himself here. So at the top there, that's the logo for Burbank Toys. Now, check it out. I really enjoyed the inside of this one because it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. If they had used like a metal barrel, yes, it would have lasted a lot longer, but I suppose by using that rubber band, it's very easy to swap it over to have different tunes for different toys. But realistically, I suppose most of them would have been probably Pop Goes the Weasel if they did this in other designs. I'm not sure, because the whole point is it's quite nice that it's timed, that when it goes pop, that's when Tom jumps out. So let me try to do it in time with what it should sound like. Here you go. So that's it there. I think it looks really good. Right, let's do it one more time. There we have it. I thoroughly enjoyed that one purely because of the mechanism on the inside, and it is a lovely little display piece because it's so colourful, bright, and who doesn't like Tom? So that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and I will hopefully see you soon on another car video or trying to fix video. Take care, everyone.